It's still a social club. We're still here, and we're talking Everton.
Hooray.
Hooray, huzzah. Basically because it's been brought up literally every single week since we started Social Club.
It's been like a cry for help.
Yeah, so we thought we'd do it, and I thought this is the apt time to bring it up is time up for Tim Howard. Robles has played the last 2 games, the 2 cup games back-to-back, League Cup semi-final, first leg, and the FA Cup third round. By all accounts, he's received really good reviews from the Evertonians.
He made saves and caught ball.
So why? So will he start the midweek games for Everton?
No, he won't.
Why?
Because Roberto Martinez is just in love with him. Literally, he just seems like he's in love with him. I mean, Robles against Manchester City, which, if you think about it, it's probably one of our most important games for a very long time. Put trust in his players, trusted them all the way through the cup competition. He'll have them back for the second leg. Puts him in for the FA Cup, and then he'll take him out for a league game. It just doesn't make any sense, because you think, especially this week, we play Manchester City away, and you think, Manchester City away, fantastic chance for this young lad's going to be there in a couple of weeks' time to play a game and get used to the environment. But also we're talking about a 25-year-old who's won the FA Cup with Wigan. Played well in the final. It just doesn't make any sense. Roberto Martinez has come out and said, Tim Howard, these are his words, he's part of the Everton badge. He can't be, because it actually says nil on the Everton badge. so he can't be.
I think the thing with
an optimum.
The thing with Howard is, I reckon Martinez, with the way that it's been going with the back and stuff, and how he's come in and he's changed the mould, is he very much wants to keep the mould of Everton the same, and the kind of dressing room the same, and that whole kind of atmosphere around Everton. I think that's why he puts so much trust in him. But obviously, I agree with you for the wrong reasons. Yeah, precisely.
To be fair, right? I think what happened is, this time last year, there was a lot of discontent in the club, and some players were making that known to other players. One of them being Samuel Eto'o, who I think made his feelings very well known to other players, that if things continued the way they were going, Everton were going to find themselves relegated, basically. He found himself out of the club very quickly as well. But I think one of the people who stood up from Roberto Martinez at that time was Tim Howard. So, and I think he is just basically rewarding him. He's like his little lieutenant. Because he's actually said as well this week that he doesn't really care about form, it's all about experience.
This is also the guy who said he doesn't care about results.
Winning games,
how you play.
It's just dead odd. The whole situation's dead odd. We'd done a poll yesterday. Nearly 2,000 people, did the poll. And it was like 90% said.
90%
said Robles needs to start, to be the number one. And 2,000. That's no shabby number. That's a when you go to game as well.
That's more than like Pantene-esque when they say your hair feels silky.
It's like when you go to game now. When Howard's playing, you just feel nervous about everything. And I'm sure that gets to the players, and it has been said about players and fans communicating with each other. And there's been this thing where every time, a couple of times, when Tim Howard catches the ball, the crowd would clap, and he started clapping back. And that just can't...
Can I just try to clarify this? Is he clapping back because he thinks they're genuinely encouraging
No, he knows.
Or is he going like...
No, he knows. Listen, he's not stupid. I think Tim Howard's a really nice fella, really good ambassador. He's been a top goalkeeper for Everton. So many positives about the fella. He's tuned in. He's not stupid. He actually does it on Twitter. He winds people up all the time. He knows. But you can't have that, can you? You can't have fans and players like having this back and forth. Surely that takes you out the game as a player before you start. But the rumblings is Martinez isn't happy with the crowd either about it. Not just that, but about the John Stones thing. And you're the manager. Tell your players to start behaving themselves. Yeah. It's not down to the fans. So for all them reasons, and the fact that he's crap, that he needs to put on.
We discussed this before because you did the preview with us over on Red Ben TV. We were talking about goalkeepers came up because we know right now because our goalkeeper situation is not healthy, and you guys have had it as well. You've got that guy when you've got a guy in between the sticks, experience, whatever. If he can't be trusted, it runs throughout the entirety of your team.
We what you're talking about is we've seen that so many times over the years at Arsenal. Chesney, decent keeper, but makes a lot of prone to stupid errors and mistakes. You can remember the one against Stoke where he's there drinking, or was it Southampton? He's there drinking the bottle. He was then after the game, caught smoking in the toilets after he suffered that terrible defeat. We've had it with Fabianski. We've had it, loads of keepers.
Even like, to be fair,
Almunia.
like Jens Lehmann, who was classed as your best goalkeeper prior to Czech.
Lehmann was all right though. I mean,
he was never David Seaman, and he's never been.
No, he wasn't. But he was a bit crazy. But he was still I think he was a better grade of keeper than those.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had Almunia, who. That's why when you're talking about
and Almunia, cue laughter across the panel, and we'll move on to the next one.
When you're talking about Tim Howard, it's just like it's almost like you're just reminding me of how we used to talk about Almunia. We just could never work it out why Arsene Wenger had so much faith in Manuel Almunia, because everybody, it would have been the same thing if he did a poll. 90% of Arsenal fans have said, listen,
he was probably on about 50p a week, wasn't he? He's got to keep
that's it. None of them are on rubbish money. They're all on decent money. But everybody were like, this guy's rubbish.
But this is the issue for me.
He's
what
rubbish.
Everton have got right now. And the thing that I find baffling in some instances is, look, we've got Mignolet's our first choice goalkeeper, for better or for worse. There's not what we're going to do about that at the minute. Then you've got Adam Bogdan, who they've got, well, he's the backup. He's meant to be okay. He had a decent little couple of games early on in the League Cup. We get to the semi-final. Nah, he's out. We had to play him in the league. He was dreadful against Watford. And okay, we'll give him another go in the FA Cup. He's dreadful. We've brought Danny Ward back from Aberdeen on loan because clearly you're better off. If you've got a 22-year-old making mistakes, you can go, he's 22, he's learning from these. When he's 28 and he's got a Premier League experience, he's done this and he's dropping bollocks for fun.
Tim Howard scored past Bogdan.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's true.
Amazing.
But you know what?
Talk about that anymore. But this is the thing: is that look at it to put Robles in for that semi-final League Cup, and then to be like, no, I'll drop him for the. You're right. That's the biggest game of yours.
It doesn't make any sense. And the other thing is, Robles has won the FA Cup. He did the same with him at Wigan, and he got himself in the team because of his form was so good. So this is a lad he obviously feels like he can trust. He brought him to the club, and Robles has been in before and he's been a bit dodgy. He's had one-off performances and he's made mistakes. But last season he came in, he had a run of games, started poorly and then just got better and better and better. He had 3 clean sheets in a row. In some of the games he was brilliant, just doing the dead simple things, but really, really good. And Everton had a chance then to just leave him in the side. And Roberto Martinez brought Howard back for a midweek game at Chelsea. And Chelsea beat us, I think it was 1-0 with a late goal. And I always said it was Howard's fault, and everyone's like, no. But it was, you know what I mean? You just think, you had the excuse there. And I just can't for the life of me understand. He's 37 in March, for a start. He's still got 2 years left on a contract, because he was given a 4-year contract after the last World Cup.
I thought that was dodgy,
which was just mental. Someone at Everton just went, the alarm bells must have gone off after the Belgium game, because he thought, right, we've got the hottest ticket in town, give him a 4-year contract, and then didn't do anything with it.
Do you think he could be in there a lot as well because of he's massive in America?
Yeah, the brand.
But I mean, he was the hero of them.
I agree with that.
In the World Cup. So by keeping him in the team, keep a lot.
But they don't use
worldwide.
They don't use him in that way though. They don't commercially use him in any way to promote Everton. Even when he was when Moyes was here, we went on tour to America, and I can't even remember what year it was, but America had played some games, and we went out to play a game, and I think Howard just came on at half time and walked round. He didn't even play the game. That's how bad our commercial department is. He just went, hi everybody, like Nick, Dr. Nick. But it doesn't really make any sense. But what I've noticed about him this season is, it's been big games where he tries to let his experience guide him where the ball's going to go when he should be looking at the person's foot.
He's using the force.
Yeah, basically. And I think, but the other thing, and
you go, use the force, Tim. No, use your eyes.
Yeah,
use your eyes, dickhead.
I can imagine that being a team talk from Martinez. Just use your experience, Tim.
Exactly, because
like, you can imagine that coming out of his mouth.
He's looking down the trench ahead of him, and like the ball's approaching, he's seeing it, and he's just
use your experience.
Use the force. Use the force, Tim.
Use the force, Tim.
Por favor.
A good goalkeeper is so important.
Exactly.
What we found this season by actually at last getting a good goalkeeper, you realise just how important a good goalkeeper is.
Yeah.
is so important. This is why I can't understand why managers gamble with keepers.
Yeah.
Because as I said, we've had it at Arsenal for years. Arsene Wenger gambling with keepers.
Now-
it's like one of the most important positions.
The only thing though I'd say, and maybe I'm going to throw this out there just to go the opposite way on it, is that Robles is good. Clearly, he's got something. But if he doesn't feel that he's good, if he's right up there, or he feels he maybe wants to use him again in the future, if he puts Robles in this season and he drops a major bollock or whatever, as we've seen with our
As Tim
backup
does
goalkeepers.
every week.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if maybe he doesn't, because he's got the Tim Howard conundrum, because he's there and he is obviously a big figure or whatever at the club. You can maybe you look to get rid of Howard at the end of the season, and you can just blood Robles in a bit more maybe from there to the end.
That is a good argument, and I appreciate that argument. But he's got a 21-year-old doing Cruyff turns in front of him. If he's got enough trust, but no, that's true. Though. If he's got enough trust in a young lad, young lads in literally the whole spine of our team.
Yeah,
You've got John Stones,
Yeah.
you've got Ross Barkley, you've got Romelu Lukaku. He's let those players just.
True, but if Robles comes in and he has an absolute stink and he does drop it and he costs the game and the fans go whoa and turn on him a little bit, you're looking at you're gonna have to buy 2 goalkeepers in the summer.
But that might have to happen anyway. But the point is, if you have to, you have to. One's had his time and one deserves a run of games now. Yeah. And the argument is, if you are prepared to play him in 2 weeks' time in Everton's arguably most important game for 4 or 5 years, then surely just a normal Premier League. No, we're not going to win the Premier League, are we? And we're not going to be relegated. So let's just throw this kid in. If you're prepared to throw him in for a really important game and FA Cup games, then just throw him in there. If Timmy Tourette's wants to get angry about it, I'm not really arsed. I really aren't arsed.
I thought you said he was a lovely guy.
He's a lovely guy, but I'm still going to have a dig at him, man. He's not going to watch it, is he? But we have this thing now called, everyone just call him just star jump, basically, because every time he comes out, watch all the videos, he just comes out and does this big star jump, and people just roll the ball underneath him while he's doing it. Last week after the game, Neville Southall just tweeted, Neville's Neville, but he just put great win for the Blues and not a star jump in sight. Just there you go. People mightn't like me having a moan at him, but if the greatest
Legend,
goalkeeper,
listen, if
all time,
bin men don't like him, then that does not.
Well, effectively, listen, if the greatest goalkeeper of all time, anywhere in the world, wants to say that, you just can laugh, but you know I'm right. If you pull that face like you're in The Godfather or something, but it doesn't mean nothing to me, mate. If the greatest goalkeeper of all time wants to say that, then that's up to him, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you agree or disagree, is
No
Neville
one can argue with
Southall?
me. Neville Southall's the greatest goalie of all
Is
time.
Neville Southall the greatest goalie of all
he is.
time? Let us know in the comments below. And if he's not, who's better?
Tim
Peter
Howard.
Schmeichel, for example.
Peter
Ray
Schmeichel
Clements.
was not
David
as good.
Seaman.
Ray Clements.
Clements.
So
Behave
David
yourself.
Seaman,
David Seaman.
Banksy.
Gordon Banks.
Gordon Banks my ass. He'd one good save, been living off it ever since.
Dino's off.
Dino's off.
Dino's off.
Gigi Buffon.
Buffon.
He could not get near.
Lloris.
Neville
Lloris.
Southall.
You got him.
Check.
Fuck off, you
Use
go.
it on the same stuff Tim's on before
Adam
games.
Bogdan. Let us know in the comments below. And it's time up for Tim Howard. If you're a Tim Howard fan, let us know why and have a go at
Because you're his kids.
Give this video a thumbs up. Check out the rest of the content of the Social Club this week. We've got loads of brilliant topics still to come. Tune in, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you there.